Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Teresa's Crafty Cabana. Today I'm going to be working on some prints that use my mica powders and perfect pearls. You know how much I love these if you've been watching my channel. And I thought I would do some bright colored ones for Christmas to make a really pretty Christmas paper. I wanted to use my stamps, so the background stamps are the ones that I wanted to use for this to get my design. I'm using my 8x10 gel plate, and then I have a stencil that's, I believe it's 8x11. It's a little bit taller than the gel plate, but it's almost as wide as the gel plate. It doesn't matter if you use a couple of different stencils or if you skip this part entirely, but I liked the idea of having a little design on my paint as I was applying it first, and then I'll put the details into the paint. So first I start with my alizarin crimson. This is the golden fluid acrylics, and I'm just spraying right over the stencil. You do have to press into some of those little areas to make sure the paint actually gets in, so you have to use a decent amount of paint here just to get a good coverage. If you're going to be cleaning your stencil, you probably want to have like a bucket of water or something nearby, a little pan of water with maybe some soap in it. I didn't worry about mine. I didn't end up cleaning it, so I just let the paint sit on there. Next, I take my wooden stamp. This is the snowflakes. I really like these snowflakes. They're very geometric and really pretty. So I'm just going in and I keep stamping off in between each time I stamp onto the paint. That way, every time I stamp onto the gel plate, it removes as much as possible. If you let the paint build up, you can do that too. It just becomes less clear. Once I've got my design completed, I'm going to clean my stamp. You do want to make sure you clean it, whether it's an acrylic stamp or the rubber stamps, just because it will stick on there and it won't get crisp details anymore when you go to stamp on there. I do let my gel plate dry completely with the paint and the stencil on it. So again, if you were going to clean your stencil, you'd probably want to remove it while it was still wet and then put it into your pan. I kept mine on this whole time, so I knew the paint was going to dry on there with the gel plate. And the reason I wanted to keep the stencil on is you can kind of see as I'm putting my pearl powder down, there's a little edge around each of the little designs, and it's picking up the gold and the silver, and I really wanted each of them to kind of be outlined. If I had removed the stencil, then the pearl powder would have been all over the entire part that's clear right now on the gel plate, and I didn't want that, so it just gives a different look. So here it is with the perfect pearls over the red. I think it looks so pretty. And then I'm going to use white. I really wanted just almost like a peppermint type thing, a red and white with the gold and the silver. The paper that I'm using is 110 pound Nina white cardstock. I'll link it in the description. And I'm going to let that set. Probably I ended up letting this set for about 10 to 15 minutes. I went off and did other things while that was drying. And then when I came back, it was perfect. I got a full pull this time because I let it set long enough. And all of those pearl powders show up so nicely against the red, and those snowflakes just look so delicate. I love how this turned out. I thought it was so pretty. You get the white detail in there from the white paint, and you can see the gold and the silver around each of those little designs, whatever those are called. And that is going to make a really nice card. So the next gel print that I'm going to do is using this. It's like a layered stencil that I got from Michael's. They have a bunch of different ones for Christmas. I picked out some different ones too, but I wanted to start with the snow globe. They have little numbers on the top, and that helps you, number one, line them up with each other, know which order to put them in, and make sure you're using the correct side. So the first one has snow. It's all the white pieces. I ended up changing into my 5x7 gel plate for this because it's a lot smaller and I didn't need the big gel plate. So the snow part, I'm just using my white perfect pearls. And this is going to be the snow on the trees, and there's little snowflakes. And it's really only that first tree that has the snow. I put a little bit of pearl powder on the four corners to help me line up my next two. So I'm using my second one, and I noticed there was a lot of opening in the, the base of it. And so I looked at the third one and noticed that the third one had the details in it. So I went ahead and put that right over the top of the second one. And I wanted to use my gold pearl powder to catch the detail in this little base. Then I put red over the base. That was number 2, and then and the green for the trees, and then the final layer, number 3, I just made almost like a sunset, really soft pink, purple, and blue colors. And then this is what I'm left with. So I went in with my greens. These are 2 different shades of green, a lighter green and a darker green, because what was left on the snow globe was the kind of like the grassy area, I guess. And the rest of the tree, where the snow on that snowy one is the other side of that tree. So I just went in with a green and used I think it was a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of paper, the cardstock again. Once I saw what it looked like, I didn't really care for the background much, so I went ahead and cut it out, and I thought it looked so much better cut out. And paired up with my red gel print, I decided this would look really good as a card. So I went to work putting together a quick little card. And while I put this card together, I did want to share that recently my mother-in-law, she passed away, my husband's mom, and it was unexpected, and of course during the holidays, and I always make her a card during the holidays. So I'm making this one to honor her and remember her, and I'll probably end up shipping it out to my father-in-law, and just to keep the tradition going. So she was a wonderful woman, and we will miss her very much. She definitely was the spark that kept her kids going, and we will miss her dearly this season. So she's in our thoughts and prayers, and this card, I think, came together. She loves snow globe, so I knew she would love this one. And I just put a little believe on there just to finish out the card. And I think it looks so pretty. I think my mother-in-law would love this card. It's so shiny and it catches the light, and it definitely makes me think of her. So that is my Christmas card for this one, and I might use there's extra pieces of the red, so I might make a couple of other cards as well. I have some other backgrounds from Michael's, the layered stencils, so I might try another one and see how those look. But I was really happy with how this turned out. I love the perfect pearls, and I'll probably create an envelope with my pearls as well, just because they look so pretty, especially during the holidays. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being here, and stick around for my next video. In the meantime, happy crafting, y'all.